A very good afternoon and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News at exactly 2 minutes past 1 p.m. with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. We start off with the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs led by Kitgum Municipality Member of Parliament. Dennis Onekalit has directed the arrest of Kotido officers due to the misconduct. Joseph Longoli, the Kotido District Veterinary Officer Dan Dakita, Stores Production Officer Kennedy Robert Okuda, Internal Auditor Charles Ocheng, in the Office of the Prime Minister, District Coordinator Nancy Grace Oyugi are said to have connived with goat suppliers and caused government a loss of over 100 million Ugandan shillings. Now, the six are said to have mismanaged 39.9 billion Ugandan shillings supplementary budget meant for relief and community empowerment program in Karamoja. Take a look.
The Presidential Affairs Committee of Parliament has interfaced with technocrats, political leaders and beneficiaries in Kotido District to inquire about the relief and community empowerment program items intended to benefit the Karakanas in Karamoja. Kotido LC5 chairperson Paul Komol Lote confirmed that some people received the goats, but they later sold them off to buy food.
Goats were supplied at the time when Karamoja was going through a tough moment. Karamoja was having #1 hunger.
And we'll be specific. You said Karamoja, the goats were brought in Karamoja.
Yes.
In the wrong time.
Wrong time. Why am I saying wrong time? When hunger.
Because of that, you lost many goats.
Now, because of hunger, my people sold the goats. They saw it now. The opportunity has come to survive. They had to sell the goats to buy food. You want to get number 2 of the goats in security. Some of these goats were raided.
Kotido District Veterinary Officer Joseph Longoli and Chief Administrative Officer Joseph Lomongin were tasked to clarify about the goats distribution.
You have 10 suppliers?
There were 8, but the number of orders are 10. All of orders are 10, but the companies are 8.
How did it happen?
For example, Qatar's Airlines Limited has 2 all of orders. One was to supply 1,000 boa females, and the other one was to supply 500 boa males. These are the different products.
So, I'm saying Qatar's and Lak.
Yes. Yes. Lak.
When it comes, they tell me this company has delivered goats. It is the exact number as per the call of order, or it is less.
Then why did you allow them to go ahead putting 3,000, yet you are aware it was delivered less by 300? And your junior staff stamped everything, approved it, acknowledging 3,000, and you are telling us that what was received was 2,700. What happened?
I think, sir, that would have been a bit of an error. And of course, when sometimes documents really reach us about officers, we assume that everything has been done very well. So, but I think that should have been an error. And of course, one thing, Chair, I want to tell you is that
the committee found out that some contractors were cleared without delivering all the goats.
300 that was admitted. OPM say they are not paying halfway or whatever. So we only want documents up to 100%. So that means the 300 was counted out a part of the 3,000. So after the company made about 300, so when they were almost back, so they began bringing 400 until they made 3,000. So that was the guidance from the store.
Kotido District Veterinary Officer Dr. Joseph Longoli and Office of the Prime Minister Coordinator Nancy Grace Oyugi and the District Stores Officer Dan Dakitari were told to take oath due to unmatching information they were giving the committee.
Joseph
do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give touching the matter before the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Dakitar confirmed to the committee that he got the directive from DVO Longoli to clear on the goods which were not delivered as it was received.
300 first, then again you received 3,000. Why are you denying?
I am not denying, sir. But I am telling the truth that
Mr. David,
the 3,000 was for 100%. They told us to accept 100%.
Kotido District Principal Internal Auditor Charles Ochen was asked why he had cleared the contractor when all goods were not delivered, but he said the documents were signed by his deputy, who is on annual leave now.
put your stamp on the supply of 3,000 votes.
Yes.
Why did you put your stamp on that?
I put my stamp basing on 3 issues. 1, the report from OPM mobilizer stating the number of votes, the report from the DPO, and the report from SPARS, because they are the ones who are physically counting the votes. So I trusted on their work because I was not in the...
Khalid ordered for the arrest of officers involved in the distribution of the items.
They give. In Karaya, there also we left others in police. About 2, mostly DVO. In Kabong, we left about 3. Here, about 4.
Meanwhile, Kotido Resident District Commissioner Ambrose Honoria says if there was enough sensitization, the goods which were given out would have been around.
Meaning that no sensitization were made?
There was no adequate sensitization done. It was not there. Because if it was there, then the people would have held some of the goods that they got.
Kotido District was supposed to get 18,000 goods to 1,135 beneficiaries, but only 14,456 received and 3,544 goods are missing. I'm Nafka Farida and Moriniga.
$39.9 billion supplementary budget mishandle. We'll keep you updated on what transpires from the Parliamentary Committee. In more stories now, Airtel Africa has announced the upcoming debut of The Voice Africa on March 26th. 2023. The show received over 78,000 registrations from 13 countries, including Nigeria, Kenya, Congo, and Tanzania. Airtel Africa has been investing in various initiatives that promote youth talent and expertise in areas such as education, sports, and innovation, demonstrating their commitment to supporting the youth of Africa as future leaders. Take a look.
We had started a campaign to search for singing talent. We asked for people to record themselves, upload videos of themselves singing, not dancing, not comedy. And we want to report to the country that we were humbled by the response from Ugandans. Majority of our people went into the campaign. About 5,000 entries were received.
So when we launched in October, in December we had 2 blind auditions, right? We had one in Kampala and one in Gulu. Those were the venues, but then the people that actually came to sing from there were from across the country. So from the 5,000 that had initially sent their videos to www.thevoiceafrica, they were cut down to a specific number that was taken to Gulu and Kampala. And from that part, everything that happened in those specific areas was blind. So we seated here have no idea who the 7 people are from Uganda, but we do know that they're in Nigeria right now as we speak. In total, there are 100 contestants from across Africa who are going through blind auditions. They'll also go through battles and knockouts. This will run until September of this year. So it's quite a bit of time, and there will be a lot of content that you'll be able to see.
So it's all about that talent, that uniqueness. So it's extremely exciting. And as media, or as the media partners here together, we are extremely excited to give our talent the opportunity to be seen on an international scale. So we call upon all Ugandans out there, let's watch together, let's support together. The show will be premiered this Sunday. And I know my colleague has mentioned Nexus, and that's where the first watch party, we're calling them watch parties every Sunday, and we will have an interaction. That's the physical one, an interaction with ourselves and the public as we watch together.
Moving on from that, Nigeria's government says it's taking measures to repatriate hundreds of millions of dollars belonging to international airlines. The country has been withholding funds due to foreign airlines amidst a shortage of foreign currency following a drop in oil revenue. Take a look.
The Nigerian economy is going through extremely turbulent times. The West African nation is struggling to produce enough oil, which accounts for about 90% of its foreign exchange earnings. One way of alleviating the issue has been to hold on to foreign airline funds, and the amount is growing. The International Air Transport Association says the amount of trapped money is up over 12% in a year and now stands at over $700 million.
Nigeria is going through what we call a foreign exchange crisis. The federal government is prioritizing, the disbursements of FX across, the different industries we have. One of their priority is to import essentials into the country, and for that reason, they are focused more on that rather than, handling, or rather, providing FX to the airlines that operate within Nigeria.
Kim Choji is a travel agent based in Jos, north central Nigeria. He says flights are now very expensive, and some of the airlines are cutting down their operations due to the trapped funds, which is affecting his business.
The risk is having to lose customers. That's the first part, because people come to us to book their flights for them. So that's like the major risk. The fact that customers might just probably not even want to fly. Traffic is being decreased, so the effect is that people are going to lose their jobs, or with time there will be no jobs at all, because who is going to fly if the flight rates are expensive? Where would the agents or airlines get monies to pay their staff that are in the country?
Experts say Nigeria will have to look for other sources of foreign earnings aside oil, which has been the mainstay of the country's economy for years.
If we're able to diversify the economy, we have so many, industries that we have comparative advantage over most of our other, counterpart, countries in Africa. If federal government, will major in the production of some of those, products that we have comparative advantage, by exporting them, I believe we'll have more revenue, which can translate to foreign exchange.
Nigeria's aviation minister Hadi Sirika met with foreign airline operators this month and assured them that the situation is being addressed. Airlines have said they look forward to a resolution of the issue. The country's Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, last month said the government is committed to growing other sectors of the economy, like mining and the commodities trading ecosystem, in its diversification drive for the economy. That is expected to boost the availability of foreign exchange in the country, apart from oil, which accounts for 6.4% of the country's GDP. That could also help foreign airlines operating in Nigeria get their trapped funds through the banks. But experts warn that restructuring the national economy could be a long and difficult journey. Tessem Akende, CGTN Jos.
Well, we'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories for Lunchtime News.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
She is our family's pride, and as her father, I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *100*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*10#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
With God, comfort replaces pain. Peace replaces confusion. Hope replaces sorrow. God loves you and knows you personally. He hears you and speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come hear the words God has for you. Watch the General Conference on Sunday, 2nd of April.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *100*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*10#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
TB kills approximately 30 people daily, and 247 Ugandans fall ill of TB disease every day. TB has killed dreams and families. We all deserve a chance in life to hustle, smile. We all deserve a chance to dream and be the best version of ourselves. It is preventable and curable. Know your status. TB testing, treatment, and all TB-related services are free in all government hospitals and accredited private health centers.
Jerry con! Jerry con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Bang Jerry con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundawa! Best groups I teach you. But never go to which the school because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? It's serious you. What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru and Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako, n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Welcome back from that short commercial break as we continue with UBC Lunchtime News. The Nabagereka, a masterpiece of personal storytelling, has now been added to the literary canon thanks to Her Royal Highness Sylvia Najenda Luswata, the revered Queen of Buganda. Now, this spellbinding autobiography chronicles her life, complete with its ups and downs, with the framework of three essential themes: life, passion and duty. The grand unveiling of this opus took place at the Sheraton Hotel in Kampala in a ceremony graced by the presence of Her Royal Highness and distinguished guests from different walks of life.
During the launch, Her Royal Highness Sylvia Najenda Luswata conveyed her gratitude to His Highness, the King of Buganda, for the invaluable support he provided in sharing her story.
I would like to start by giving extraordinary appreciation from the depth of my heart to the Ssaabasajja Kabaka of Buganda for having allowed me to lend a hand to the progress and development of our region and people, for having allowed me to do both, as the previous speakers have spoken about, and as you read in the book. I don't want to spoil it for you, although it has somehow been spoiled. And for being supportive to me while doing it.
Despite her achievements, she humbly urged her audience to approach the book with an open and positive mindset.
Now, in this process of telling your story, you may inadvertently affect other people. So it is also a highly sensitive process, and therefore I have endeavored not to be detrimental. However, if I have disappointed or hurt anyone in this process, I ask that you forgive me.
On her part, Her Excellency Natalie E. Brown, the United States Ambassador to Uganda, expressed her admiration for the book, which she believes will serve as a beacon of inspiration for women around the world.
Uganda and educated in universities in the United States. Her story provides insight into her unique perspective, holding on to and cherishing the beautiful history, traditions, and culture of the Buganda people, while working across the country and across kingdoms with her fellow Ugandans and introducing ideas and new beneficial opportunities from her experiences abroad. In 2005, at the U.S. Library of Congress, the Nabagereka shared with her audience that education has always been part of the Buganda people's traditions, albeit less formal and structured. She noted that traditional education was limited in scope, and since there was no writing, learned by rote was encouraged, and there was little room for criticism, inquiries, innovations, discovery, or documentation. There was no gender equality.
In attendance were notable dignitaries, including ministers from the Buganda government, political leaders, the clergy, the ministers from the Ugandan government, among others. Renowned literary critics Robert Kabushenga, Maria Nassali, and Jackie Asimwe described the book as authentic and truly inspirational.
The beautiful weaving of culture. And she does point out, in fact, that she knows that the women's rights movement, of which I belong,
she does not hide her indiscretions and regrets from the reader.
The Nabagereka is a must-read, a captivating and thought-provoking work that reflects the dynamic nature of life, passion, and duty. Her Royal Highness Sylvia Najenda Luswata has crafted a masterpiece that will stand the test of time and inspire generations to come. Justin Nakami, UBC.
Well, they said it's a must-read, so I hope you get yourself a copy and read the Nabagereka. In more stories, several southern African countries are facing food insecurity due to reduced fertilizer availability. Maize output in Malawi, for example, is expected to fall by 4% this year because farmers can't find enough fertilizer at a price they can afford. Take a look.
The
the Malawian capital. Hawa Firi is one of the many smallholder farmers who have struggled to buy fertilizer during the 2022-2023 planting season after prices spiked following the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
I'm encouraging farmers that have land near rivers or streams to embark on irrigation and use this donated fertilizer. But for those that do not have it, it will be very difficult and they can't wait until the next growing season. As villagers, we do not have anything that would bring us money except for farming. My plea to the government is to speed up the process of selling the subsidized fertilizer in good time, mainly for those of us that depend on farming.
Helplessly now looking at their failed maize fields, they have been waiting for months for free fertilizer from the government. Malawi was one of the first African countries to receive donated fertilizer through the World Food Programme, part of 260,000 tons of Russian fertilizer stuck in several European ports.
We believe that it is very high time for the Western countries to unblock Russian food and fertilizers impounded in some port of Western countries, so we could continue delivering agricultural products to Africa and to other parts of the world. It's very important we live up to the commitments and we keep our word. So what happens now in Malawi is a clear demonstration that Russia can deliver despite the challenges and threats of the new geopolitical situation.
Some of the donated Russian fertilizer has reached a few farmers who say it came too late.
In our sports stories, the Black Pearls were crowned champions of the Women's National League and Women's Uganda Cup in 2022 are eagerly anticipating their upcoming friendly match against Kenya's Impala Women's Rugby Club. The clash promises to be an adrenaline-fueled encounter as both teams are poised to put their rugby prowess to the test.
Under the watchful eye of their esteemed coach, Helen Koikoi, the Black Pearls are primed to showcase their impressive skills and teamwork on the pitch. Having dominated their opponents last season, going undefeated in the 15s league and winning an impressive 90% of their 7th games, the Black Pearls are determined to continue their winning streak.
This trip is mainly about exposure for the younger players that we have, and a chance for them to play outside Uganda, outside of their comfort zone, and see how deep they can dig to bring out the best of themselves. And it's also a way for me to gauge the difference in standards between Kenyan club rugby and Ugandan club rugby. Is there really such a bigger difference? And if there is, what I can do to bridge that gap. And if there's no difference, then why aren't we able to successfully bridge the gap at the international level when Kenya is playing Uganda? It's also an important time for the girls to bond. This will be the longest that they've spent together. They come from different districts. We don't train together, so this will be the longest time we've spent together. So
the plan eventually is to have a full Enterprise Cup, Enterprise type arrangement with the teams in Kenya, but for now we are starting with Impala rounds, and the hope is that we can go and play there, and then they can also come and play us here.
Adding to their motivation is the generous financial boost from Loan Africa Limited, which was presented to the team during the flag-off ceremony at the King's Park in Brewery. The backing from Loan Africa Limited is not only a testament of the team's growing success and popularity, but also a reflection of the increasing support for women's rugby in Uganda.
We said, why not go to the next step and grow with them in rugby and also in education? Those are our two targets, rugby and education. Mentorship and basically just to support Uganda rugby, especially women's rugby.
Right now what we have agreed to is to finance the season and a tour of Kenya for now. But by the beginning of next season we shall have an actual figure attached to it. Right now what we have is that Lone Africa will take the front stage of the shirt, will take the central part of the shirt and handle the game day branding and activations.
As the Black Pearls set their sights on Impala Women's Rugby Club, they are leaving nothing to chance. The game will feature 15s a side and is scheduled to take place at the Impala Lush Green Lawns in Nairobi. The Black Pearls are ready to deliver a show-stopping performance and assert their dominancy in the sport. Grace Joyce Kyomugisha, UBC News.
After strides in promotion of art and the sports sector, leading beer company Now Breweries has vowed to continue with sponsoring of different sports disciplines. From pool to rugby, football, athletics and diversifying the art industry through the promotion of different musical shows, Now Breweries prides in investing more than 3 billion Ugandan shillings the previous year. Hosting its mother company, Corporate Affairs Director of AB InBev, John Bladd, and Andres Penati, the Global Vice President, Corporate Affairs, based in the US, they are assured of support from mother body and impressed with the relation between Now Breweries, and the government of Uganda. John further hosted different CEOs of key partners and companies that have helped Now Breweries to strive to a dinner deliberating on strengthening partnerships. At the same event, the new managing director of Now Breweries, Adurando, was introduced to business leaders in Uganda and the global team. Now Breweries has made a name in sports sponsorships, but equally in educating the vulnerable, promoting safety campaigns and supporting the local farmer to flourish.
For anybody, you can feel free to say a few words.
Had government meetings, need I say more, that took a bit longer than anticipated, but super happy to see such a warm welcome here in our breweries. Always, I was just saying to John that Uganda is my favorite country in Africa. I think it's the most beautiful country in Africa. So super good to be back here. It's been a long time. It's been longer than I would have wanted till I was last in Uganda. So super happy to see everyone here. We've got a packed agenda for tomorrow, so very much looking forward to that.
I do as much as I want to meet all the government officials and have all the meetings. The most important thing is about who drives.
That's all we had for you this afternoon. Do join me again at 8 and 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a good afternoon and God bless. Stay tuned for more programming as well.